Hey everyone, I hope you're having an awesome day. Today, I'm here to answer some frequently asked questions for time management. So a few weeks ago, I asked in a few of our Facebook groups, what do you want me to cover on some of the content that we have coming up? And under the bucket of time management, there were 4 things that people put, and I'm going to walk through just what those are to see if you can relate to any of them. And I'm going to go through a bunch of different ideas. These are ideas. I don't know your personal situation. I don't know what works. And I don't want you to take these as like, I should do this. What I want you to do is take what's useful, leave what's not, with the goal of having like one idea that we talk about today that is going to be useful for you. I think that time management is a constant, what's working, what's not working, what adjustments are you going to make? We've been working on a lot of big projects here behind the scenes. And typically what works is I do most of my coaching between Mondays and Thursdays, and Friday afternoons, I might work on like what I would call the CEO stuff. Well, that did not work very well last week. And I was so stressed out on Friday and I felt like I was behind on everything. So as I woke up, as I went back to work this morning, I thought, okay, what went well last week? What did not go well? And what adjustments do I need to make this week better? And with those adjustments in hand, now I can keep an eye out for ideas, or if I know what's working, what's not working. I think it's really important. I think a lot of people for time management, they're looking to people like me who are going to say, here's exactly what to do, how to do it, when to do it. But we're different. We have different scenarios. We're different people. We have different problems. We have different experience. Some of us are really go with the flow people. Some of us are very routine and structured. And then there's a whole bunch of people in the middle. And so the bad news is I can't tell you exactly how to do it, when to do it, right? Because I don't live your life. But the good news is if we can take a step back and look at a bunch of different ideas, I think you can pick 1 or 2 that'll be useful for you, I hope. So the questions that were asked were, what about time management with littles, being consistent, reaching out to potential customers, the second one was having some sort of schedule, at least doing something each week, starting a new schedule where I do reach out to posts. As a busy mom, I struggle prioritizing business tasks. Having a daily plan and sticking to it, and more updates for part-time busy business owners that need to do only essential activities. So here we go. First one, time management with littles. If you have littles, I recommend childcare while you're working your business. And here's what I mean by get childcare. We want to create win-win-win situations. So an idea for childcare I'm not talking about help, I'm talking about teamwork. Is an idea for childcare would be like a swap. And my friend Catherine does this all the time. They used to, the kids are older now, but they used to do date night swaps with another family. And so once a month, all the kids would go to that person's house. And I never heard of this before. My mom lives pretty close, so maybe that's why I hadn't thought about it. All the kids go to one house and then the other couple goes out. And then 2 weeks later, all the kids go to the other house and then those adults go out. So it's a win-win-win scenario where each set of parents, they get their own time together. They don't feel like they are putting anyone out because it's a swap, it's a trade. The kids have fun, right? So if you have littles, the number one thing is like, it is really hard to work with littles. Now, if you are working with littles around, your organization skills are going to need to be higher. So make sure all your lists are ready. Make sure you have templates written out. So if you happen to have 15 minutes where no one's throwing something at someone, then you can just do things really quickly without having to be like, well, where was I in this project? As far as being consistent, I want to encourage you to define consistency. A lot of people feel really discouraged by working every day. Today, I was working with a client who's basically on the point of burnout, or she'll just be off. She'll just like escape her business. And we defined consistency to be 8 blocks of 3 hours of work time throughout the week. So she could do 3 full days, no work, and be consistent, because on the other 4 days, she would have like a block in the morning and a block in the evening or in the afternoon. And that would be consistency. Now, the biggest time saving hack for reaching out to potential new customers is to make the list in advance and know what you're inviting to. The brain cannot brainstorm and edit at the same time. Most people don't know this. So do your brainstorm all at once. Cross off the people you don't want to reach out to and then do them in chunks. Have this handy. So reach out to 3 people per day. Just do them in 3 people chunks. But if you every day were like, today I need to reach out to 3 people, and you have to make a list and then edit the list of 3 people and then start overthinking everything, now an hour's gone by. But if you just organize all your contacts in one of your time chunks, and then for the next 2 weeks, all you have to do is knock out a few outreach, that's going to save a ton of time. As far as the question about someone having like some sort of schedule, doing something each week, if right, as a busy mom, struggle of prioritizing business tasks, you may or may not have a struggle in prioritizing business tasks. You may have a logistical issue. And I want you to look at whether or not you have a logistics issue or if you struggle prioritizing. So a logistics issue would be like, I can't work right now. I have to drive my kid to practice. That is a logistics issue. If you have a priority issue, it is my kid is over there doing their homework all on their own. I'm going to go over there and talk to them and make sure I sit down and help them with their homework, even though they might not need my help, because I'm going to prioritize sitting with them instead of my business. Like something I don't need to do, it is not my responsibility. So you have to figure out, is this a logistics issue or is this actually a prioritizing issue where you are stepping over boundaries, doing things you don't need to be doing, that are pulling you away from your business. Now, structure is going to be really important as a busy parent. Anyone with less time actually has to be more structured. And for me, this idea of being a busy mom and how do I prioritize, I can't tell you what to do, but I can tell you what helped me. It really helped me to define what it meant to be a good mom. Once I figured out to me what I could offer my kids, I can't offer them everything. Then I needed to communicate. Like, I'm not going to cook everything from scratch, and I'm not going to be part of the PTA. But I can encourage you to reach your dreams. I can give you jobs at my work. I can be a good role model, and I can watch TV with you so that I can rest and you can rest, and we're not always running around. And if you play a sport, I could probably help you with that. But I am not going to be, the mom who throws the Pinterest birthday party like some of my friends do, and they're wonderful at it. But I have things that I am going to commit to, and I'm things I'm not going to commit to, and I'm not going to get caught up in comparing myself to my friend Christina who throws the best parties, because that's not my thing. I would prefer to do other things. So we need to be able to communicate with our family. Here's what it means to be a good mom. What do you think it means? Like, what do you need from me? And let them practice asking for that. When I had blood pressure issues and I just didn't have as much energy, and the mortgage company doesn't care if you have blood pressure issues. They want you to keep paying for the mortgage and stuff like that. I knew I had to get more rest. And through communicating as, a busy mom, the kids started cooking crock pot meals and pasta to give me a little bit of extra space to either ride the exercise bike or rest. We can't do it all. And I think that's an important first step. Once we figure out what are the things that maybe we really don't need to do, it'll free up more time for the business. How do we have a daily plan and stick to it? I think daily plans are really hard because business seeds are kind of like slime. As soon as you try to grab it, it's like squirts out of your hand. We've been working on this in the Resilient Leader Mastermind that I have. It's a small group of people I work with pretty closely on their business. And it's a technique called the weekly Accelerator. So they make 4 quadrants. One quadrant is for networking, one's for enrolling, one's for retention, one's for recruiting and leadership. And we just make sure there's something in every box every single week. I just had someone who I said, okay, what are you trying to do? And we're filling out the quadrants, and everything was in this, like, in the recruiting and leadership thing. And so I challenged her, what's one thing that you can do for networking? Didn't have enough time. Oh my gosh. I was like, well, why don't you invite some people over for like a spa night? It'll give you some time to relax, stress, check in with people before you leave this town that you're in, and then insist that they bring a friend. And now it's a networking activity. And she's like, okay, that's awesome. I think I could pull this off by Friday. Um, and so write the actions that you want to take and make sure there's something in each quadrant, and then put it on the fridge and tell your kids, this is mommy's homework for this week. And your kids will be on you and they will make sure you do your homework. We have a really good built-in accountability system at home. We just have to be brave enough to use it. Some updates for part-time busy business owners that need to do only essential activities. So for networking, master referral and hosting skills, they have the highest return on investment. Also consider becoming the person in the community who does gatherings. One of the biggest challenges that I'm seeing right now is that people's circles have shrunk. That's not good for network marketing. And so everyone's complaining about, oh, people are not coming and my people are not inviting because they say they don't have any friends. And that's actually real now. So we need to be the change that we want to see in the world. So I would encourage you to start hosting more things that have nothing to do with your business in the community, and start to be the gatherer of people. That will create critical mass, and you could do something once a month or once every other month, and really establish yourself as the go-to person in the community. For enrolling, have a monthly pain point specific workshop that you can invite people to, and your team members can rotate the pain points. So it's fun to invite to. For retention, use email or social media to tell a story of one of the products that you use that day. People love stories. They're more, I know this is not a story. This isn't a story podcast or video, however you're doing it. But people love stories. They work really, really well. Tell more stories. They will give you more traction. And for recruiting and leadership, host power hours. One of my clients, Susie, just did this, and her daughter ended up working for 2 hours straight, just doing outreach over and over and over again. So that's a power hour. And office hours where you can schedule an hour of time where anyone on your team can ask questions. You do not have a lot of time in your schedule. You have to, what other people would do weekly, you would do every other week. So maybe 1 week host a power hour, the next week an office hour, and then the next week would be power hour and then office hour, and then people can participate in what they are able to. Minimize personal mentoring to their first 90 days and then have them come to office hours or power hours, and record your conversations, sales conversations, recruiting conversations, any of those things, and so that people have a thing that they can watch while they're learning, so that they don't have to struggle so much, which of course takes more time for them to get the same amount of results. So we went over a bunch of different ideas here. We talked a little bit about childcare, define consistency, making lists in advance, child swaps, structure. What does it mean to be a good mom? Having a 4-quadrant approach to your business instead of what are the things I'm going to do every single day. We talked about referrals, networking events, conversion events, stories, power hours, office hours, and such. I hope that this smorgasbord of ideas was helpful for you. I hope it was encouraging to know that you are not the only person that struggles with this. I mean, time management is a struggle for every single human that we have. So I want you to stop giving yourself a hard time. Stop giving yourself shame. It's already challenging enough. We don't need to layer a bunch of shame on top of it, and just go, okay, what went well this week? What didn't go well with my time management? What adjustments do I need to make, and move forward? That is, to me, the only way to figure out your time management. Some weeks will be better than others. And as your business changes, your time management will get shaken up. And so, this idea that I'm going to someday be good at time management, I want you to let go of that. Say, each week I'm going to help people. I'm going to make an impact with my products. I'm going to make an impact with my business. And then, if I do that consistently, week over week, I'm going to see progress in my business. I hope that was helpful. Please let me know what you liked best out of this and have an amazing day.